What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerd Talk, presented by MaxPlay Live. I'm Ortec the Batman. This is
New Tech. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Boss Tech.
Boss Tech. Today on the show, our very first show, we're going to talk about our favorite thing ever, which is Star Wars. In the wake of The Force Awakens, we have a ton to talk about with this movie. I personally loved it. Others didn't, but he's also the only guy on set that's older than that toy, which came out in 1977. And I beat it by like about 6 years. So what didn't you like about Force Awakens?
It left me wanting.
Wanting what? It was a perfect movie.
I expected more. It was J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
First and foremost, whether you like the storyline, which I didn't, the effects weren't there.
The effects?
The bigness was not there, no.
So you're saying Poe Dameron's swooping X-Wing dogfight that had Finn all get girly and fanboy over it. Even it had a character in the movie go
but
fanboy.
He was getting paid to get all girly over it.
But I remember everyone kind of getting mad about how the prequels went completely CGI. I mean, it was almost terrible of how much it was.
Not everybody went.
We sure did. I did.
I mean,
the whole first half of Revenge of the Sith, there was only 2 organic human beings in it.
I understand that.
Other than Palpatine.
But the thing of it is, see, us old guys understand the whole. You know who he didn't introduce? James. James, show us who you are.
Oh yeah, there's a guy back in the Bat Cave. That's him.
That's awesome.
You may have heard actual words, but that's not really what he sounds like when he talks.
No.
He's faking it. It really sounds like this. That's what he sounds like when he talks.
I mean, he is trying to grow his beard out.
He is. He said 1 year. 1 year. No shave.
No shave? Oh, we're on par. We're going to be wizards by the end of this year.
I know.
Okay. For sure.
So leave that shot up. That's good because again, we're tech.
Yes.
They're all tech. That's utter tech.
Yes.
And so the whole thing about the show is we're going to bring you from our perspective, a tech's perspective.
Yep.
Okay, so since I'm the old tech and I'm the boss tech.
He's also the giant that steps on us every chance he gets.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
So the point I'm trying to say is as long as I've been in this industry, we understand that the progression of things will get better.
Right.
Back in '77, when we all saw it, when I saw it.
Yeah, I was like 2.
That time, it was the biggest, baddest thing on. Nothing had ever been done like it.
Right.
It was just the bomb.
Well, would it change your mind if I said, just go ahead and accept that it was a remake?
No.
That wouldn't change your mind at all? That it was a really slickly done remake?
It was, it was, okay, I'll give you some of the remake. But it still left me wanting bigger and better effects.
Well, would you go see episode 8?
Oh, I'm not going to not see it.
Right. Well, that's how it felt
Because,
to me. It was setting things up for the
so we
future
had,
movies.
New Hope.
Right.
And then.
Which we did spend all weekend watching, too.
All weekend.
The entire weekend we watched all the films.
In consecutive order, like it's supposed to be seen.
Except for him. He kind of fell asleep halfway through the last one. It was, you were
late. So they didn't talk to me about
Dude, you were snoring.
I remember Taylor and I have both seen Force Awakens multiple times. I've seen it 5 times now.
I've seen it twice.
I've seen it 3.
So we know this movie inside and out, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning of the movie. And being that it's been compared so much to A New Hope that it's basically being called a remake now, I don't think that shot for shot it was a remake. I think there was strong similarities.
A lot. Yeah. Was that James? Was that Undertech?
What James say?
I thought I heard Undertech's. But yeah, you're right. I don't consider it a remake. Do you, James? Yeah.
The new movie, yeah.
That's perfect.
What do you mean they got lazy?
Perfect.
They made this movie on purpose. It's not like they just said.
Yeah, but I think. Right. See, to me,
that wasn't
again,
no Death Star.
I think what happened is we all know originally Luke was supposed to be evil, right?
Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams got that taken away
you
from
mean in the new movie? Yeah.
Right. So, and J.J. Abrams got that taken away from him. I think that, I mean, I don't know this for a fact.
Where did you guys hear that he was supposed to be evil?
It's in the expanded universe, actually.
Yes, but that's not canon anymore.
Well,
But
you
they
know what?
definitely-
So we can't.
Whether
we
it
can't-
is or it isn't.
They drew like inspiration, or they nodded to the EU universe.
So is J.J. Abrams going to do the next one?
No,
Okay, you know why?
because
Because it's because it's Disney friendly now.
well, no,
He wasn't able to have that true control.
that's why he's not doing it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say it's not because of Disney being friendly or whatever. It's because he had a plan for the movie, and Disney came in and said, "No, we need to do this."
Yeah, because Luke can't be bad.
Well, it was other directors that were going to be. They had a plan from the get-go that he was not going to direct all three. Just like in the original trilogy, there was 3 different directors. Lucas didn't direct all 3 of the original trilogy. He did on the prequels, but on this one, they want a fresh take. That's at least my understanding of it.
Well, let's go back to the whole how most people didn't like the new trilogy.
Right.
Okay. I personally liked it because I think if they had that technology back in '77, it'd have looked just like the new ones. There would have been a lot more CG. There would have been a lot more animated graphics. There would have been a lot more chroma keying. It's because they didn't have that technology back then. They did with what they had, and we were appreciative. I appreciate.
No, I wasn't. Me and a whole slew of fans did not like that at all.
Well,
Everything. Yoda. You don't remember Yoda from Phantom Menace? He looked like Kermit on crack.
Well,
He did. He looked like Kermit went off into an alley and just never came back until it was time to show up on set.
Well, in Phantom Menace,
It was so bad that in the Blu-ray that we watched over the weekend,
Yeah.
they went back and they redid Yoda and took the
CGI.
crappy puppet out and put but the CGI model was based on the original Frank Oz puppet.
Yeah.
It looked horrible, and that was where and in the very next movie they went ahead and did Yoda the way he should look. So they had that.
but it was still
capability.
CGI.
Right, but they had that capability, and they didn't do it. So I don't
Well,
think
they
that's
tried to
what it
keep
is.
some of that original in there, and it just didn't work.
I think it's George Lucas saying, "I don't like that. I want to change it," because he's never happy with anything.
Well, I know he's a perfectionist.
Right, and his projects will never be finished.
Right.
That's probably why he sold to Disney in the first place, because he knew that he would make a movie, and in 5 years he'd go and change a bunch of things, and then get criticized by fans all over the place, and everyone would hate him and spam him with hate mail.
Yeah.
And then it would be a never-ending battle with the guy.
Well,
But the CGI argument is like where they could have used CGI, they didn't, and where they shouldn't have used CGI, they did. There were so many things like the sets. The sets were CGI completely.
Yeah.
Like the Mustafar battle. That entire thing was a green screen or a blue screen actually.
Right.
The entire set was a blue screen. Everything in there is computer generated, and it shows, man.
Right.
It just shows, and it doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel real. It feels like when I was watching it last night, and it felt like I was watching a cartoon with a couple of people in, like the Mario Brothers show back in the day. You got Captain Lou dancing around a cartoon bat. That's what it felt like, man. And I think they did it right this time. I know it looks retro, and a lot of people had that.
It's not even that it looked retro. It just didn't look. It didn't give me the oomph.
But could you agree that this movie, if you've never seen Star Wars before, and this was your first Star Wars you've ever seen, would you
It had
agree
to, yeah.
it would?
Oh, yeah,
most
absolutely.
likely-
Oh,
I mean, it would bring you into the freaking series.
Yeah, I don't
James
either.
says I don't think those kind of people exist.
Yeah.
There's
They
people
do.
that haven't seen Star Wars.
No,
It's hard to believe,
actually,
but it's true.
There's our no-tech.
Yes.
He's never seen any of
Rod,
them.
our marketing guy,
And
has
Ian,
never seen Star
one of
Wars.
our new clients coming up, has never seen Star Wars.
Yep. And Ian Beckles has never seen Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
We just had a 2-day marathon, and they've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Nope. Never.
Never seen it. I spend
them.
the bulk of my earnings at work buying this stuff, and they've never seen it. So
And
yeah.
there's a reason why they call us nerds.
There is a strong reation why we named the show Nerd Talk, and
Yep.
that's definitely one of them.
I mean, to me, it just left me. If I had never seen it, I guess this movie would have been really awesome. I'm not saying it's not good.
Or if it was marketed as a remake from the get-go. They
Yeah,
said, hey, we just remade it for a new generation.
Kinda, yeah.
Because that's kind of how I accepted it. And I didn't have to BS myself into that because I'm such a fan and I'm so big in the movies, you know.
Yeah.
And when I create and I get to like sit down and think of things, like in my head, whether I'm intending to or not, subconsciously, I'd like to pay homage to the guys that got me wanting to get into video work and get into the business, you know, which I did. You know, and George Lucas is definitely one of those guys. So I can imagine if I were J.J. Abrams and I was sitting around and they said, hey, do you want to direct Star Wars? And immediately he didn't want to do it. He was like, no, I don't want to do that. And Kathleen Kennedy had to kind of like convince him to do it.
Right.
And this is why. This is exactly why. Because he knew that he would put too much compassion into it.
Right.
And he'd want to see the movies that made him feel a certain way when he was a kid. And that's what he did. Because when I watched it, I totally got every nod, every homage, everything from Maz Kanata's castle, totally playing on Mos Eisley or Jabba's palace. Either one, pick when they fit.
Yeah.
You know, or Jakku, obviously Tatooine. Those are some of the more obvious ones.
Right.
But I mean, even when Finn's in the Millennium Falcon and he's looking for one of the tools and he pulls up Luke's training sphere, I forget what it's called. The training thingamajigger. I never really liked it. I thought it was goofy. But Han was right, you know. Try go fighting stormtroopers or blasters, kid.
Yeah.
You know, because you're getting your butt whooped by an automated ball.
Yeah,
So,
and stormtroopers won't actually hit you. So
yeah. Well, if Finn hooks up with Rey, he'll be the first stormtrooper to actually hit something.
that is true. But here's the thing: there's a lot of people going around on the internet
That's the thing.
saying that Poe and Finn are.
No, because
That got debunked.
It did get
It got
debunked, didn't it?
debunked?
Debunked a long time ago.
I would have crushed it anyway, just smashed it because, I mean, not that I have a problem with that.
They're
I mean,
just
that's
best
fine.
friends. Why can't people be best friends without having to be gay?
And with this movie, it would also fall in with this movie with the strong female characters like Rey. It's not just Leia, you know, showing the boys how it's done, like when they escaped from the Death Star and ended up in the garbage trap, which
Right.
maybe you shouldn't listen to Leia in that situation.
Yeah.
Because they almost died. But, you know, and Captain Phasma, the hype behind her, which, of course, we've been Boba Fetted. I don't know if you guys know what that means.
Tech just got assassinated. I'm not kidding. I think he just got assassinated on
Utter
screen.
Tech just got assassinated?
Yeah, I think I just watched that happen.
Can you please explain?
Yeah.
I think
Did he
Debate
just-
Tech took him out.
Did you just photobomb him or something?
Yeah, I definitely watched it. I mean, if I'm
Was
pretty
that on
sure the people
camera?
who were watching, yeah, he.
Wow.
And then he just switched it on. I think Utter Tech's gone.
He's been fart bombed.
Utter Tech, show him the studio. Show him the control room there.
Yeah, go ahead, switch to yourself, James. There you go.
Go to full screen. Come on.
He's like, I don't want to
can't
go.
breathe in there.
All right, that's good. So they see our work board.
That's the
awesome.
Bat Cave. You see that computer way back in the back? That's the one that I lose my mind on. So,
But anyway.
Yeah, back to Star Wars.
But again, I guess after Abrams did a great job with Star Trek,
Yeah, oh yeah.
and
for sure.
he completely took that into a whole new direction.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Star Trek now because of those movies.
Yeah, I could not stand Star Trek
Yeah,
until I saw those,
I was
yeah.
always Actually, I was Star Trek before I was Star Wars.
Well, in the 90s, there was that big argument between
Right.
Star Wars and Star
Right.
Trek fans.
So once you saw what he did there, that I guess is because I'm like, oh my God, Abrams
He
is doing
set the
Star
bar
Wars.
pretty high.
Oh my, this is going to be a monstrous movie. And I think that's what it was. I was expecting, and see, because I knew how it went, I knew what I expected way more.
Right.
And I just didn't get it. I'm
well,
not saying it's not a
I
good
did,
movie.
man. I did
I'm not saying I
because-
won't buy it when it comes out.
Right.
But bottom line is I think there could have been a little bit more.
I think episode 8 will actually be like I think it's gonna have.
You think they'll expand the scope of it? That's your
Well,
problem.
I
with
want
it.
to
It's
find
the-
out. Okay,
it's
you need
scale
to.
and scope
Yeah,
have a
you
problem
need to
with.
jump back and find out. Well, at the end of 6, the whole galaxy was up and cheering and happy and hey,
Yeah,
all
but I mean, they had been
right.
under the foot of the Empire for so long that it takes time to rebuild.
Well, yeah, but
too, you
okay,
know.
so
And everything was
and
sort
they
of
were
like
talking
Mad Max
about
anyway.
Luke Skywalker training all these people, and then and then Ren goes bad, and
Right,
I want to see
destroys
all
them
that
all.
part. See, that's a big chunk that go missing, which I would like to see.
Well, they're going to be touching on
Well,
that.
are we getting off of how it was made and going into the
yeah,
story?
we'll
now?
move on because we're never going to agree that, you know.
No, I do agree that it was not as, in terms of scale and scope, it
It could have
wasn't
been
as
much
big as the
bigger.
prequels.
But you know
I
what?
personally like that they scaled it back
I know.
some.
I know. Because you know when I see, and I say I know because you didn't see the actual what we saw in '77.
No.
And
I think the first one I saw was Return of the Jedi.
okay,
was
so
about
what
3.
we saw in '77 is literally, I felt like this is what we saw last week.
Or pull my finger.
No, I'm good.
No, don't you dare! You're out of here.
I am fine.
Insert comedy.
I think that's that's kind of what it did it for me. I'm like, I expected more, and I'm like, wow, I'm back in 1977, and I'm seeing the same thing again.
Like, I totally get why people would be turned off by that,
Yeah.
though, because like you'd think J.J. Abrams, B.
Oh, yeah.
Lucasfilm, man. That's not just J.J. Lucasfilm. Like everything they've ever done is just huge.
Yep.
And like even Willow, like Willow? Yeah, I mentioned the peck. Willow's a thing. He's cool. What? You don't like Willow? You don't like Willow? You know Willow?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You should know Willow. You look like you came from his village.
Oh,
really?
burn.
Okay. All right then.
oh, wow!
That's for the no hair comment he got me with. He told me to see. We have these funny little ear things that we have so we can hear James.
I told her to hide it in his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now the rest
I
of us
told him
thought it was funny.
I can't comb over my back hair over. Anyways, even in Willow, like they created the morph. I don't
Yes.
know if you know what the morph effect is.
Yes.
All right. Well, the morph effect was the catalyst which later became T-1000 in Terminator 2. That's basically why that effect was even created.
Right.
So I totally get that, but I just can't get over how like for me how seamless it was. Like it didn't seem like it seemed like these. I get the feeling that they wanted you to feel that especially after the Starkiller base, which that's why we waited to do this show when we did, is so people had enough time to see it. So we don't.
Yeah,
give
we didn't want any spoiler alerts.
Right.
Like the guy that's driving around in the Escalade that said Han Solo dies in The Force Awakens.
What a dick!
Wow! Holy cow!
That guy is not cool.
I mean, you know, we all know that Chewbacca becomes a Sith Lord. So, I mean.
No, Jar Jar
I don't know
Binks.
about the youth these
Oh,
days.
yeah, Ottertech. Were you and your Jar Jar Binks
Jar Jar
thing?
Binks.
Oh yeah, this guy's obsessed with Jar Jar Binks.
That's Jar Jar, not Chewbacca.
Yeah, and this guy
It's
over
a fan
here is
theory that
obsessed
says
with the
that-
fact that Jar Jar is apparently a
obsessed.
Sith Lord and is still in the works of doing this in the new trilogy.
So wait. Let James talk a second.
George Lucas chickened out.
You think George Lucas chickened out, and that's why Jar Jar
Yes.
isn't a Sith?
Yes.
You don't think it was the millions of fans that just wanted to kill the guy for creating Jar Jar?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He chickened out because so many fans didn't like him.
Well, I'm glad he chickened out because I can't stand Jar Jar
Yeah,
at all.
I'm not a fan of him.
I thought it'd be hilarious.
Misa don't like that.
Missa don't like her.
Yeah, Misa don't like
I
Jar
would
Jar.
love that.
No.
Misa wish he got blasted in the first movie.
By
Be not happy.
Boss Nass.
And here we all are doing impersonations of him.
It would have been hilarious.
No, it wouldn't have
Think
been
of how much-
hilarious. You know what would be hilarious? When Jar Jar just never was invented at all, and he just was never. Phantom Menace. Matter of fact, Phantom Menace. Just get rid of Phantom Menace altogether.
Can we just
what I
talk
think
about
The only thing good about Phantom Menace was Darth Maul. There, I said it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the only thing good about and they killed him, and he didn't actually die because we have cartoons called Clone Wars
I like Qui-Gon.
that explain that he like comes back as a weird spider droid, half android or whatever, and then he gets his regular legs, has a little brother, and they go off fighting all kinds
Well,
of.
they did in
other
the
people.
Wild Wild West.
That's true. That is true. Have you not seen that movie?
I've seen Wild Wild West.
Okay.
But I can't believe he just mentioned Will Smith on this show.
Sorry.
That no.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're
now
talking about tech.
no,
That little evil dude has a mean tech
yeah,
for that
but
time.
every show we have to pull out a weird, obscure. Well, that's not really that obscure,
No.
but we have to pull out
Our
an
nerdism.
odd Will Smith reference.
Yes.
Just because you set the bar. That's
I set
what
the
we have
bar.
to do
An
and it can't be
odd Will
Fresh
Smith
Prince. That's the
reference.
go-to easy one.
How could it not
Say
be
what?
Fresh Prince?
That's a steep bar.
It is very steep. Yes. What were we talking about again? Star Wars, I
let's
think.
let's
Something
go
called Star
into.
Wars.
That's what Will Smith does to people. It just totally makes you not want to talk anymore.
We
Let's
were
go-
talking about how much you hated this movie.
Yeah.
I loved the movie. I hated Phantom Menace.
He cried.
I did. I cried.
He cried.
Well, actually, I didn't cry all 5 times. Just the first 3.
Yeah.
Because different things would catch me, like
Tears
R2
of
being.
joy.
Hey, stop it! I don't want to talk about that anymore. What did you like about it? You want to talk about Ray now?
Because I love Ray.
Rhea?
Who doesn't want to talk about
I think Ray.
We're still on Finn and Poe though.
I'm
man.
well.
You would
I'm
stick with Finn
on
and
Ray
Poe
because
about
she's
Ray.
That's not
extremely
funny,
hot. And 2, she's.
You're breaking continuity.
Here's the thing.
You know what your farts smell like.
I know most people think she's a Luke Skywalker. I think she's a Kenobi.
She's not a Kenobi.
She is a Kenobi.
No, she's not a
so, too.
Kenobi.
What
She's
I
a
think might have
Kenobi.
happened
There's
is
no way.
How?
No, she not Kenobi. That's her name.
The only
She is a
base
Kenobi.
thing
No, she
you're
not
basing
Kenobi.
that off of is that Kenobi stayed with the Jedi Order, and I do not.
He
and
wouldn't have
in
he would not break
expanded
Jedi
universe, he did.
code. He would not break Jedi code.
He
The expanding
did.
universe doesn't exist
But
anymore.
they took inspiration
It's
off
gone.
the expanded
No,
universe.
they nitpicked what they liked.
I think Obi-Wan had a daughter, which in turn got older, had another daughter, which in turn was Rey. And the reason why his daughter was not a prevalent person inside of the original trilogy is because he was trying to hide her. He didn't want her a part of all
Well,
that.
yeah, but wait a minute.
Josh,
What's up?
we're over here.
I can't hear you.
We're over here.
What?
Hey,
I'm sorry.
The camera's this way.
I don't know. Sometimes when people talk, my ears get all clogged with like noise diffusers
We know.
called earwax, and it just builds up when I hear things I don't want to talk about.
While they're bickering,
Anyway.
like 2 old biddies.
There's no way. I get where you guys would think that.
Well,
because
first of all, it
there's so
can't
many
be a
visual
daughter. It can't be a
cues.
daughter of a daughter because I think it would water down. Because you take
The Force, you
you
mean?
take the Force and you take a non-Force, and then you get a kind
Said
of
she was a
Force.
non-force
Yeah, I
user.
don't think it works like that.
Well, yeah, but
What if
that
he
means
found a
that
random
that would
Force
that
user?
means it had to be another Jedi.
Technically,
But I
they
mean,
brought it in
Because,
with.
well, in Star Wars, 2 parents would not be force sensitive at all.
But
but
of
they
course,
would-
then again, look at how strong Luke is.
yeah.
And look at Anakin. He was born from nothing.
Well, that's
Literally,
because in the
his mom was just
prequels
pregnant
they
with him.
explain
Yeah.
that
What do they call that?
Metachlorians is the reason for
Immaculate conception?
Yes.
Yes.
that. Well, metachlorians.
I know that's too big. You can go ahead and calm down for a little while and let your brain reprocess the giant word I just used.
Well, think about it. Metachlorians and
Wait.
Stop.
Blasphemer. Where's my lightsaber?
Stop.
Give me a blaster.
Stop. You cannot sit here and say that they're not real when they are obviously real. Especially in the. You can't. They've said they're canon.
Can.
See, I thought this new movie would totally wipe out the prequels.
Well,
And
son, I got
especially
news for you. It's a great movie, but ain't none of it real. So it is
It is to
real
me.
to me.
Galaxy.
It's like wrestling.
There you go. We agree on something.
It's still real to
back
me.
to Rey. Back to Rey not being a Kenobi. No,
She's a Kenobi.
All right. You know what? She is a Kenobi. You know what her
I do
name is?
not want it to be such a
I can bust your
scapegoat that she's a
theory apart
freaking
too, Josh.
Skywalker.
Hold on. You know what her Kenobi name is? It's No She Not Kenobi.
Oh, she not Kenobi.
No, She Not Kenobi. That's
That
her name.
She
is
is Kenobi.
his name.
No, that's No He Not Kenobi.
Yes, she. Yes, she is
Kenobi had stubble. So
I don't know. I personally
Your
think
theory that
Rey
she's
is
a
going to be an
random-
awesome Force user.
I think that's
Assholes in
yeah.
it too.
You know what? I agree with myself. I think that she was literally. Look, this is what happened. Kylo Ren betrayed Luke, right? We already know that. Him and the Knights of Ren, they went in and they slaughtered all the Jedi Padawans. That Luke was trying to restart the new Jedi Order, which in the expanded universe he did that, and Kylo's character, which they pretty much lifted from Jason Solo. Jason Solo was the son of Han and Leia, who ended up becoming a Sith Lord and betraying him and wearing Yuzan Vong armor, and he was all awesome. Well, that's basically the inspiration for Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
All right. We know that we've accepted that Kylo is definitely, the son of Leia and Han. Well, a lot of people think Rey is either a Kenobi, like James swears up and down,
Or the
or Luke's daughter,
Luke's daughter.
or Han and Leia's other child, which would make her brother and sister with. I don't believe any of that crap.
See, now, here we go. If it does wind up being brother and sister.
I'll say I'm wrong.
Here we go
Whatever.
again. It's the same.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll do that. I think that's part of the reason why the movie was made the way it was, is to get you thinking on a certain track. There's so many parallels between Rey being really good with electronics. Anakin was really good with electronics. They're both from desert planets, right? They both survived in harsh conditions. They both were naturally super strong with the Force. Anakin flying pod racers, Luke flying what the hell was it that he flew? Anyway, he was able to fly an X-wing and blow up.
T-87.
His first time out in an X-wing, he blows up a Death Star, and everyone's like, "Yay, Luke!" Rey does all she does is fight a guy with a lightsaber, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's Mary Sue or Lou, whichever."
She
it is.
drove the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, dude.
But all right. I knew you were gonna say that, but I did my homework because she mentions that Unkar Plutt had stolen so she knew the history that Unkar Plutt had the Millennium Falcon. Well, do you remember when they were in the cockpit and Han first meets her? And I can't remember the technical stuff that was being said, but Han goes to say something. Who put the
Yeah, they puts the compressor in line.
compressor in line, and they both said it at the same time. And then right after that, she says Unkar Plutt did it. You know, so she knew the Millennium Falcon.
Well,
she knew the way around
she
it.
also told
she's also tech-savvy.
she also told him that not him, but she told
Finn as they're running towards it.
Yeah, that it
flown in years.
hasn't run in 20
So
something
she was
years.
very familiar with.
She knew it was always there. She
Exactly.
knew who owned it. But I think because she
There's
was a
another-
salvager and she was able to take parts and pieces from all the
She could
wreckage,
figure
she
we
figured things
that
out really
yeah.
quick.
Exactly, and plus the Force. You know, if Anakin could fly a pod racer and blow up the Trade
So you're
Federation
telling me that
ship,
you're saying that Anakin may have taken one for the team right before
no,
he got it
No,
with
I'm saying that they give you all these visuals and they lay out this story a certain way to make you think that she should be like Darth Vader's granddaughter, like Ben, or Kenobi, because her style of dress is very Obi-Wan-ish. You know, but no, she's not Kenobi.
Why? Why would it would be so much
He's looking
better?
at me, and
It's-
I can feel heat
Tell
from
me
this
what
direction.
you just said.
He just wants to talk.
What you just said is, if they were to go with the son and daughter thing, and
Or brother and
sister, like it would be the same.
Yeah.
Would it not be the same if she ended up just being a Kenobi that Luke was trying
Yeah,
to
and
take
I
care
agree.
of?
I agree. Well, Luke
But at
didn't
the same
take care
time,
of her. You abandoned her with the
would she be
Ungar
same
blood.
if she was a random?
No.
Because it was an Anakin?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anakin's not a
Because-
forced random because Palpatine even said that he was the one who created him.
And he alludes that Plagueis is the reason why, because if you listen to episode 3, when he talks about Darth Plagueis, he mentions that he had the power to create life from nothing.
Yes.
So Palpatine could have been planning Anakin Skywalker's existence with Darth Plagueis all this time, and we might not know that yet. You know what I mean? I mean that might come out in the next 2 movies. Obviously, Darth Vader's still a central figure.
Well, we don't know whether
big
he
time.
killed
Yeah.
Plagius. Here's the thing.
We
When
do
he-
know because he
Nothing
says he
killed
killed
Darth
him.
Plagueis.
When he killed him.
Well, I mean, obviously he was
could've-
dead by the time,
But here's the thing. By the time he told Anakin that, Anakin was 23.
right?
Plagius could have been alive when Anakin was conceived.
I want to draw from the damn book so bad, but I
But
know
you
it's not
can't.
canon. Yeah. So this
So
is the conundrum of Star Wars.
So technically,
what they
Damn
did
you,
now.
Disney!
we don't know
What?
whether it was Palpatine who created him or Plagius.
It could have been the both of them.
Could've.
We don't know because it's not like Palpatine's just a pushover.
Could have been Jabba.
It could have been Jar Jar.
That's a monkey wrench, I
Could have
think.
been Jar Jar.
It was Jar Jar.
No, Jabba,
Jar Jar the
Jabba
whole
ran that
time.
whole area. He could have
Oh, by
gotten
the
what
way,
he
did you
what he
guys
wa-
hear
where he
that
wants.
the new there's a Rogue One is coming 2016?
Yeah, that's going to be part of what's
we
going to tell
might
you
learn
what
some
happens
stuff.
in between that.
Yes.
Okay.
We might learn some things there because the way these Star Wars movies work is that they always set you up for something later. You're always going to see like a quick scene that you'll be like, oh, that happens, you know. So we'll be able to connect the dots. It's not that big of a deal. But what were we talking about? What you were saying? Let me get this straight. You're agreeing with me that she's not a Kenobi.
No, I am not agreeing with you that, and
You
I think she is a
Kenobi?
Kenobi. Yeah.
You think she's a Kenobi?
Yeah, I think
you
she's a
think
Kenobi.
she's what, the brother or the sister?
No, I think
of
she was
Kylo
a Padawan in the school with Luke, and then Luke was the
The time
one.
doesn't add up.
What?
Why doesn't it add up?
Because when did
Because
Kylo-
her and Ren are the same age.
No, they're not.
No.
No, they're not.
Well, they look it.
Ren should be around 30, I'm guessing.
Ren is around 30.
Yeah,
And Rey is around
she's
20.
20, yeah.
Okay, well
And
that's what. Okay, so
She was abandoned when she was like.
when Ren went nuts and killed everybody, she could have been younger.
Yes.
She could have been.
Yeah.
That was
A youngling.
She was younger.
So
could've been a
she
youngling.
could
But
have been
around
here's
5.
my thing.
5 or 6, and
that would
it-
put him around 15.
Well, that's
still old enough. I mean, Anakin. What
so.
was he?
So
Anakin was
there's
17-year-old
nothing saying that Luke could not have hidden her.
to protect her.
To protect
from him.
her.
I mean, Anakin slaughtered the Sand People when he was only like 17 in that movie. He was supposed to be a teenage boy in that movie when he was still a Padawan learner, basically.
And they don't want the Padawans. They want them babies. They want them 4, 5, 6 years old.
They want to get him young. But that's what I'm saying. Like, she's waiting for Luke to find her, and I'll get to that in a second because Maz Kanata says something that's interesting when she says it's not what you're waiting for is not behind you, it's ahead of you. And then meanwhile, she's trying to convince her to go find Luke.
Yeah.
With the lightsaber.
With the
by
lightsaber.
way. And she was.
Which is also why I won't be surprised if they make Rey Luke's daughter.
No, I will be surprised.
Adopted
because
daughter.
that's the obvious.
I'll go there.
That is the obvious.
That could
And that's why I'll be
adopted
disappointed.
daughter. I'll accept.
Adopted
but
daughter. I could go
I
there.
think she's literally just like there's a whole school. Of
What are you
Jedi.
raising your hand for?
I have an idea. Let's say Luke is always in contact with Yoda and Obi-Wan
Yes,
because they're
one with the Force.
yeah, they transcended into the Force. What would you think if Obi-Wan knew that he had a offspring and he let Luke know about it so Luke could do something about her getting away from where she originally was? Because we don't know where she was before Jakku. We don't know why her parents apparently abandoned her.
It never says parents, it only says family.
And she never says her. She says she doesn't remember her parents. She doesn't even know what they look like, who they are.
And you got to think if she's 6, 7 years old, she'll have some memory.
So what I
But
think
in
is
Star
it was
Wars,
a
they also
force
mind
wipe.
wipe people.
Somebody mind wiped her.
And Luke having that experience of giving away Leia through, thinking about her while he's fighting Vader, and Vader's like, sister, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that could be very reasonable why she doesn't remember anything.
Yeah.
And why she doesn't even remember that, and later on, this is also, unless she was if she wasn't mind wiped, then later on when she's like, when Finn tells her that the droid has a map to Luke Skywalker, and I thought he was a legend. So, I mean, if that was her dad, and your dad's Luke Skywalker, why would you not remember that? You know what I mean? Unless your mind was wiped. So
Trauma will do a big,
but I mean, she didn't look
brain
like
mess
she
with
was
you.
traumatized too much. I mean, her parents, that could be traumatizing.
See, here's the one thing.
She was
that-
also left with Unkar Plutt. Like he's the guy that, remember when she's a little girl in the vision? And she's looking up, and she's like, "Come back," or whatever. And Unkar Plutt has her by the arm. His fat fingers grabbed her, and he's like, "Come with me, girl." That's definitely him.
We have a viewer question.
Oh my God, really? What is the
How
question?
do we know Ren is 30-ish?
It was insinuated when either J.J. Abrams or Adam Driver himself gave an interview, or the producer, one of the producers, I saw it in an interview where they basically say that that's the time. That's the age that he should be in this timeline.
We talked about this, James.
Yeah.
He's 29.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
it
how
was
do we
the
know
producers confirmed it.
was-
It wasn't said in the movie though.
Okay. We didn't explain that.
But
my
okay, so
bad, guys.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thanks for
throw
watching.
I'm gonna throw something at you here that is I think is going to be a little go. Oh, didn't think of it that. In 6, when Yoda says, "But there's another," we assume he's talking about Leia. It could be he's talking about Ren.
Well,
Or Rey.
or canon.
Okay, when you
Canon
say
and
canon,
Ezra.
are you meaning candid?
No,
Cannon?
no. There's a character named Canon Jeru.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm saying his name right. I don't know because I always have trouble with his name. If you watch Rebels, which I've watched the whole first season,
Yeah, I didn't watch
we don't
that.
find out what happens to him and Ezra. Ezra is his Padawan learner.
Okay.
He was a Jedi that fought in the Clone Wars
Right.
under another guy. And anyways, so all of that is canon. All of that
Okay,
is.
but you understand what I'm saying, though?
Right. But I mean,
So-
Yoda could be talking about because there's
But
others
Yoda sees
as
the
well as
future.
Inquisitors.
Yoda sees the future. So, clouded or unclouded, whatever.
Dark-sided is.
Yeah, but see,
That's usually what I think when I walk back in the room after eating burritos.
but I think he's talking about her.
Rey.
Yeah, I don't think he's talking about Laura. Leia. Because he sees that far
I
ahead.
think it's pretty obvious she's talking about Leia. But that's a good
we
idea.
assume that.
I'm
we
not
assume
sure.
that he's talking
I know.
about Leia.
Who knows what Star Wars, right?
Because right now in 7, she uses no force whatsoever. other than she feels things.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
it.
all she did that in the original trilogy.
So
too.
so for her, if she was going to be a
She could feel
force
Luke's
to be,
pain.
but if she was going to be a force to be reckoned with, it's a little late in her timely cycle to.
Which is, boy, man, in the expanded universe, she was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
she
in this
did learn
one,
to
she's
be a
not.
Jedi. Yeah, no,
She's not.
No, and
So
she's
I think
way
Rey,
too old.
is the.
By the way, Carrie Fisher's awesome. So all the people that are criticizing her about her age and all of that,
Yeah,
like
get
her-
off of it because she's
her
she's the
response
bomb.
was brilliant.
Yep.
Like she's like, men are allowed to age and women aren't.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, Carrie Fisher was great in the movie. And if you watch Empire Strikes Back, people complain because she didn't do enough. But if you watch Empire, when she's actually commanding things and doing her general thing, she literally is just sitting there looking at a computer screen, argue with Han, back to the computer screen. So I mean, it's not a stretch for her character.
I just love there's no underwear in space.
I like that rule too. I like that rule too.
Especially considering Rey's around.
Yes.
But anyway,
We don't want to talk too much
So-
about that because we don't know how old our
No,
viewers are.
but I'll tell you, I
But I did
honestly
notice
think
some
in
things.
6 when he says that.
They kept that rule.
Yeah, I don't think Yoda was talking about Leia. I
right.
think he was talking
The only
about
thing
Rey.
is when we were
Can I
watching
finish
Return
my?
of the
Can I
Jedi.
finish
Yeah,
my
go ahead,
theory?
buddy.
All right, my theory is Kylo
we
comes
got all
in,
night. Don't worry
he
about
kills all of the Jedi, right? Luke's trying to escape Kylo, which I don't understand because Luke should be able to just crush Kylo like easily, right? Like Kylo should have
doesn't
crushed
wanna
Finn,
have
as a
to.
matter of fact. Huh?
He doesn't want to have to. He
Right,
can. but
that
he
would
doesn't
make
wanna have
sense,
to.
yeah, because it's his nephew and he helped raise him. I get that. So instead of confronting him, because Luke does go through these like inner turmoil plot points in all
He's
of the
a
movies.
whiny little bitch.
Yes,
He went
Luke
to
is.
the Jedi Temple to find out how to save Kylo.
Anyway, let me finish. I'm gonna let Darth Taylor.
Here's the thing.
That's Darth Taylor. I'll let you finish. Hold on. I think
This
that,
will be an extended show. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I think that Rey was the only Padawan Luke was able to save and escape with, and that's why she was left on Jakku with Unkar Plutt.
That's what I said.
You know, and Han was aware of this, but when he recovers the Millennium Falcon, you know, he's not wise to it just yet. And then he starts to figure it out as they go. By the time they get to Maz Kanata's castle, who's the girl? That one line, who's the girl? Which says Han's figured it out. Then he tries to persuade her away from all of the war and all of the hero stuff because he saw Luke
come
go
work
through.
with me.
Come work with me. Yeah. So that's why I think that Han knows who she is, you know, and Luke definitely knows who she is. Obviously, at the end of the movie, he recognized her. But that doesn't necessarily mean to me that it's Han's daughter or Luke's daughter.
And when he got killed, she felt it as much as Leia did.
She could be just the last hope, just like Luke was. You know, there was all these people that were.
So instead
willing
of a
to-
new hope, it's the last hope.
Yeah, the only hope.
Jesus.
Yeah, literally. But I mean, in the last movie, everyone rallied around Luke. They're all like, "You're the last guy that can save the galaxy. You're the only guy." And then Palpatine or in our day, it was the Emperor. He wasn't Palpatine yet.
That's right.
Anyways, him and Vader are trying to grab him because he's so powerful and they see the potential. We want you to come to the dark side. Everyone wants to, Obi-Wan and Yoda want him to go to the light side. We just found a new tug of war right now, you know, and that's Rey. So that's why I think she's not related to anybody. It's just everybody knows how
Right.
important she is. So when Han I mean, honestly, if you haven't seen your own kid in a while, in a film especially, I mean, in real life, I can see why you wouldn't recognize your own kid, but in a film, they're gonna recognize him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think, and at the end, when Leia, may the Force be with you, and gives her the hug and all that stuff, that tells me that it's not
Her daughter.
it's not what. Yeah. It's not.
It was
'Cause
too easy
there
to let her
would've-
go.
Yes, there would have been more to it. There would have
Yeah.
been more emotion.
Yeah, she would have said,
Even though
stay
this
here with
movie had
me,
the
help us
emotion
do
of a
this, blah, blah,
2x4.
blah. And said, yeah, run around with the Wookiee.
She's a
Right.
Kenobi.
Well, I think that she's just the last hope. And
I do too.
she's the one
I think
central-
I kind of I'm on the same path. I think that she was saved by Luke, so Kylo Ren didn't kill her.
So they have a chance later.
So
you
yeah,
know?
exactly. He hid one. And he was okay with
Right.
it. And he dropped her off, and then he put R2-D2 in that deep sleep until someone was able to complete the map.
Right.
That's- I think-
By the way, now that we've talked a little bit about Rey, and we've all got our theories about Rey,
Hey, he was going
you
somewhere.
got your theory coming about Rey, but real quick, TR-8R, Traitor, the Stormtrooper, his name's the Nines. His name's Nines. There's a backstory that if you read the books leading to the movie, it explains who he is, and he's a former training partner of Finn, and that's why they have this big clash and everything. So before we get any further with that, I want to dispel that, and that's canon. His name's Nines, and they know each other, and that's why there was this big thing. Now, now explain your theory, because I'm not opposed to her being a Kenobi. Like, it could happen. Like, I could believe it. I probably could even accept it. I just don't think there's any chance of it. I think that's what they want you to think, especially with the visual and all that.
No, I think definitely what they wanted you to think at the end was that she was Luke's daughter.
You think that's what it was?
That's what they were trying to. They're trying to throw you off with that. I absolutely do not think it's Luke's daughter. Do not.
Me neither. I agree completely.
The only reason why I would say it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's daughter is because let me explain. And this is the reason why I think Obi-Wan went away from the Jedi path. It's because after he dealt with Anakin.
Wait. When did he go away from Jedi?
In the expanded universe, it was between. It's
not canon.
Stop. The expanded universe is between the prequels and the original.
Can I get that
trilogy.
rubber band over there?
Yeah.
He ends up going. He doesn't go to the dark side.
Canon only! Canon only!
That's an unsaid rule. But no, I agree. I know.
But since they took. I thought he was going for freaking. Since they took inspiration
By the way,
off of
do
the
it.
expanded
Just
universe.
do it. You know how many times I've been editing and I get locked in the editing mode, I get ADHD, and next thing I know I'm being shot with darts, and I don't even know what's happening?
Yeah.
And then they tell me they're going to do it. Hey, Josh, we're going to shoot you with this dart right now. And I have no idea. All right. We're being super disrespectful to Taylor, so go ahead and finish your point.
In between the prequel and the original series, he ends up going off of the dark side. He ends up having a relationship with a woman on Tatooine.
Okay.
And it ended up being a daughter. Now, in the expanded universe, the daughter ended up being more prevalent than anything. So, and doesn't necessarily they don't go any further than just his daughter. Now, the only reason why I would say that he kind of didn't know about her until he passed away to the Force.
So you're saying Obi-Wan went out and got himself a Tatooine hooker? Or was this someone that he had a relationship with? Was it like, I don't mean hooker, but I mean, like, was it just a one-time thing? He went out to the bar, got hammered, I mean.
But here's why I think he might have done something like this.
And that's why a lot of people agree with his theory, though, is because Obi-Wan was allowed to drink. Why not make it with a...
He didn't start drinking until after Anakin. He did what happened with Anakin.
No.
He drank in the bar with Anakin when they were chasing the bounty hunter.
Yep, in Attack of the Clones.
The reason why I think he might have kind of gone off to his own thing.
What, James?
That's when he cut off so many hands.
Yeah, I just said
That's when
that.
he's
He dismembered the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
But he is against smoking.
Zam Wessel was the bounty hunter. It was a shapeshifter. I'm not even sure if it was a woman or not. We assumed that. But that could have been the Tatooine hooker he's talking about.
No. Here's the thing. Obi-Wan, I think the reason why he would have done it is because after he dealt with Anakin, after the Jedi Order fell, after hundreds of Jedis were killed off of Order 66, he was distraught. He ended up going to Tatooine to hide away, but since he was trying to be a hermit, it didn't really, he went
to Tatooine because Yoda told him to go to Tatooine to study a new Force ability.
And to watch over Luke.
Watch over Luke, but also because he had lessons from beyond the Force with Qui-Gon Jinn.
So in that 20 years, he couldn't have ever slipped up.
Jedi don't break code, man. I mean,
yes, they do.
No, a Jedi like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But actually, you're right. Jedi do break code because Anakin broke code.
Because Anakin even said to Padme in one of their.
It's not the Jedi way, yeah.
They can't have attachment. Doesn't mean they can't go get some.
Well, no, because
can't have attachment.
A romantic.
No, he said attachment.
Yeah, but
And that's what they were talking about.
So think about that. That could be why Obi-Wan doesn't know his daughter or doesn't know who it is because when he realized that he did something bad against the Jedi Order, he went.
You're saying that he
AWOL.
just cut her off.
Yeah.
He just, you know,
It's a one-time
Yeah.
thing.
he didn't call her the next day, right?
How would that be so out of? I mean, you don't know. Why would that be so out of place? Obi-Wan could have realized that he did
It
something
wouldn't.
bad.
I just don't think that Obi-Wan's that guy, man. I don't think Obi-Wan would do that.
Now,
I honestly don't think Obi-Wan would break Jedi code and fall that hard, especially after watching Anakin go with, and Anakin was flirting with disaster.
Yeah.
Whenever he started that relationship with Padme, which started when he was a little kid, too old to be trained anyways, you know, I mean, that started, and that's why Jedi don't
Qui-Gon Jinn
invite
broke
romantic
Jedi code.
relationships like that.
but you remember
When did Qui-Gon Jinn break Jedi code?
When he took Anakin as his Padawan.
Yeah, actually.
Not really. I mean, he kind of just told them, I'm going to train him.
Yeah, but
Which
they
is
told him not
breaking
to.
Jedi code.
No, it's not breaking Jedi code.
Yes, it
To
is.
go against the council?
Yeah, it is.
That's
That
a
is
count.
Jedi
No,
code.
that's not breaking Jedi code. It's Qui-Gon. He does whatever
You're only
Qui-Gon
supposed to
wants.
have
So
one
if
Padawan.
Qui-Gon wants some, he'll go get some.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
Qui-Gon wanted to get laid, I'd be like, sure, he could. He's Qui-Gon.
And he trained.
I don't want that guy finding me and killing me.
And Obi-Wan followed right in his footsteps.
Well, you
Exactly.
remember?
I don't think so, because Obi-Wan was pretty much, he knew that Qui-Gon was wily, and he criticized him for it.
Well, you remember
He
when
may-
he
he
was,
says that.
He was sitting there. Remember
Just
when
like
Anakin
he
went?
criticizes Anakin, too,
Well,
throughout the
Anakin-
entire two prequels, because
Yeah.
he wasn't old enough to be criticized
Anakin
yet.
in Clone Wars.
love
Remember
that-
when
I
he killed
love
the
that.
Tuscans?
Yeah,
When
that
Yoda
was
was sitting
Qui-Gon.
there.
No, Anakin.
Yoda
Yes.
was sitting there saying, "Grief leads to anger. Anger leads to the dark side."
So was schmoozing woman.
So how would you? Do you
That ain't
really
anger.
think that Obi-Wan wasn't?
That's
I've
feeling,
been to the dark
happiness.
side, baby.
so you don't think Obi-Wan was feeling grief after he almost killed Anakin and the entire Jedi Order went to crap?
No, I think he was way too strong of a Jedi for that to get to him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and then when he's telling Luke the story, which on YouTube there's a really good cut of where Obi-Wan's telling Luke the story of Anakin Skywalker, and they cut in different parts from the prequels. This is just is slickly done because he kind of like looks away and you can see this thought going through his head, or like if you were to tell somebody, "Oh, I had a dog once," that means I'm thinking about when my
Right.
dog got ran over. Well, that was kind of like, and it was just awesome. But I don't think Obi-Wan would do that. Later on in his life, you can tell it affected him more. But this is a guy that sat in the cave watching over Luke Skywalker because he's the galaxy's last hope to bring balance to the Force, and he's one of the most revered Jedi of all time. I don't think that guy is going to break Jedi code and go invite attachments that are gonna possibly lead him down to the dark side. There was a saying that I read that said something about romantic attachments. That when Jedi were seen having romantic relationships, anything like that, even if it was just one time, it was cause for suspicion. So other Jedi would be wary of them.
I've never read that.
Well, I'm kind of a nerd, and I do this. This is what I do. Anyway, Jedi would look at that as suspicion. I don't agree with it. That's why the Sith are obviously cooler, But that's what Jedi do.
Yeah.
They don't do certain things, and and when you're tasked with protecting the last hope of the galaxy, you're not going to break Jedi code, man. I just don't see it happening.
Let's jump forward to the new trilogy.
Obi-Wan would be way cooler if he was like a bar hopping, like, check out my lightsaber, baby.
I
Let's
think
jump
he
to the-
was.
I could see it, but I don't think that's what would happen, man. I don't think that's possible in the realm of Star Wars. I don't think anybody. I think they would be too afraid to do that, even if it was a thought that they had, which obviously they did. They had to have had, when they sit down in the production meeting, and what if Obi-Wan was he banged hookers? I'm sure that was out there. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
I mean,
it's too far
What's wrong
out of
with
my
banging
realm of
hookers?
possibility.
in
What's
the
up,
new
dude?
trilogy.
What's wrong with banging hookers?
Nothing.
So
If everybody has AIDS, then nobody has AIDS.
Herpes.
Oh, my bad.
So in the
Off
new
the deep end, too far.
Yeah, a little bit. AIDS
Bring it
kills
back to PC.
No, not PC. Just
We should let Taylor talk. We're being rude to Taylor.
it's all right.
I agree.
In the new trilogy, you remember how you said that JJ wanted Luke to be evil?
I didn't say that. You said
I did.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I think they're going to go that route. bear with me on this. We've still got episode 8 and episode 9 to go through.
He did look stressed out, man.
He
Well,
did.
let's say if you know the expanded universe, just stop. Just don't even say it. You know it.
Yeah, and he
You
does.
know how he becomes evil.
He doesn't become evil. He falls to the dark side.
Because he
There's a
had to
different
kill
thing.
Han's son.
Yeah, and it traumatized him.
What makes you think that won't happen?
He hasn't
in
killed
this?
Han's son yet.
That's
He hasn't
that.
done
We
it.
still got Empire. We still got
He
the
also-
Empire
he
Strike Back
also-
version of the new trilogy.
He also mortally wounded his own father. James is going to the bathroom. I thought everyone in TV land should know that. He must have eaten
There's no one
cheese.
flying the ship.
Yes.
So,
This is that point in the movie where we were watching it, remember? We were like, who the hell's flying the ship? And then we look up, who was flying the ship? It was Rey, right?
Yep.
Because Chewie's on a gun.
No, Leia.
Oh, yeah, Leia. Oh, it was A New Hope we were watching.
Hope, yeah.
Chewie's on a gun, Han's on a gun, and the ship's just dodging all... How did Leia end up...
No. Chewie. No. Han was in the hole trying to fix the.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Trying to go to
And he kept
light
falling.
speed. Yep.
But how did Leia end up flying that ship the
Well,
way she
Leia-
did?
of
course.
Why is
No,
that
she's a
acceptable, but
pilot.
Rey isn't? Come on.
So
No.
shooting a little torpedo through a small little exhaust vent is just totally plausible without the Force.
Well, she fought which you yourself said, Kylo could be the most powerful Force user ever, which I have dispute with
I
that.
think Rey is.
I didn't say that.
No.
That was James.
Was it James?
Yeah, I don't think he's the
somebody
most
said
powerful.
because
Now
he
that
was-
he's not here.
Oh, no, it was Dylan.
On screen, he's the strongest so far.
No,
Mm.
because Darth Vader could force choke you
No,
through a
I just
hologram.
proved-
No, you're not on camera. You're not on mic. Now talking next week.
Yeah.
Someone-
Next week, Dylan will be on to find out that he's completely wrong. That's all it is.
Darth Vader didn't stop with his hand, or he stopped with his hand on the Force.
We're talking about two different things. I said
don't care.
he choked General.
Through a teleprompter.
Yeah, basically he was sitting in his meditation chamber and he choked that general that kept on failing
was
him.
open at the
Force
time.
choked.
Yeah, but he did it through video.
He was looking at him on a giant video screen. That's like me flipping you the bird on screen and you being able to see it.
But did he use
Doesn't-
a laser bolt?
He blocked it with his hand and just gone away.
No, his hand was on fire.
His hand was not on fire.
It was on fire.
You know what?
We backed it up and watched it.
Well, next week or
We'll
whenever-
have the clip.
we'll have the clip.
Oh, the clip proved
We'll
wrong.
have the
Can
clip
we
and
show
we'll find
that?
out for sure.
Sure I
Because
can.
my best buddy proved me wrong, and I was like, dang. And we watched it, and I was like, oh man, you're right. Han shoots at him on
And
Bespin,
there's sparks
and he stops it, and then grabs the pistol. Plus, it's 1983 or 1980 when the movie was made, so special effects is a little lacking.
Yeah, but his
there.
hand was sparks, and that was his metal hand, and he grabbed it with his real hand.
I attribute that to special effects.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, come on. He could have. The blaster shoots so fast that he could have stopped it. Now, I will give you
Hey,
this.
my battery's
Kylo,
dying.
and I love Kylo Ren.
that's
He's
not
my
good.
favorite. Your mic's dying?
Yeah, I can't hear James anymore. That's okay.
Hello?
I'm good.
I'm here.
He wasn't.
Can you hear me?
Hey, wait a
Can you
minute.
hear me?
Are you still in the bathroom?
No.
Oh, thank God. That's a stigma.
Dude, I could smell you through the mic.
Yeah, people at home could smell
Pretty
you,
good,
James.
isn't it? Impressive.
Smell-o-vision.
It's a good thing we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yeah, thank
Amen,
God.
Josh
brother.
could be on screen.
Yeah, wait. No, you can't be on screen. You scruffy-looking nose herder.
He is on
Oh,
screen.
dude, can you get him from here?
Yeah. But anyways, I think that hit. Did that hit?
Forces. I don't know where it hit.
It's like, it was way off.
He pulls it out of his butt, and he's like, I don't know where it hit. Oh,
Oh, too bad.
I just want to see the one just like nail him right in the
I don't know if you
side.
could hear it on camera, but that thing's whistling the whole.
really loud.
They modified the Nerf gun.
Come on, get him.
Oh, that was weak sauce, man.
You gotta aim a little
All
high.
right, back to topic.
You can see that one on screen.
That was awesome.
James is playing with red rockets in there.
Cage, get
Back
this
to
from-
topic.
Back to topic.
We're on
This is
Bespin.
mine.
Vader stops the bolt with the Force, and then he grabs Han Solo's blaster with his other hand. I mean, Kylo didn't do much different. I mean, he turned around. Poe shoots at him.
Yeah.
He spins around, stops it, has a conversation,
Midair, mind you.
Yeah,
Midair.
yeah.
It's just.
and he also locks Poe in place. Like
Yeah, it just
Poe was
stops him from
paralyzed,
moving. It's
couldn't
like,
move.
yeah.
And I love the way, by the way, being that we're production guys, did you happen to notice the sound effects they've been leaving out?
Yes.
All right, when when you watch A New Hope and Vader
Change that for
uses
me.
the Force for the first time, you hear the Force.
Yes.
You hear that sound effect. In this movie, when Kylo used the Force, he was using the Force because you could hear it.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's another key thing that I think that, for me, it just brought back fond memories of watching A New Hope.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I could see that Kylo could be as strong as Vader, but I don't see that him being like stronger, especially when we know that the Force lives and moves and it occupies living things. Well, Vader had false limbs. You know, he only had like one real arm. I don't even think he had one real arm at this point because Obi-Wan had taken one arm, Dooku took the other, and Obi-Wan took both his legs. So think of how strong Vader would be had he had all his limbs. Especially
Still a better
this late in his
swordsman than
life.
Kylo.
And he was still a better swordsman than Kylo.
God.
Kylo's sword, but I will defend Kylo Ren on this. I mean, they're shooting troopers with the bowcaster, and they're flying left and right through the air. I mean, that thing is destroying people, and Kylo gets hit and just takes a knee.
I was like, just stack
He
it
just
back
drops
and
to a
gone.
knee, and he's like, "Ugh, that sucked." You know. So I mean, I can understand Rey besting him, or even being able to hang with him because she's strong with the Force. Luke hung with Vader on Bespin. Where did he get his training from? Dude?
He had some sword training before that.
From Yoda.
Well,
He did a
yeah,
few flips in Dagobah.
But
dude.
in
Come
the,
on.
but in the end,
And then Yoda told him, "You're not ready."
at the end of 7, she came out of nowhere and became a massive force. For Kylo Ren to be so powerful, this person who was untrained,
Yeah.
doesn't know nothing that she even had the force, came
I
out of
could- I
nowhere
could
and
accept that.
kicked his rear end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was injured, but I
Doesn't
could
matter.
accept
He
that.
didn't have use for his arms.
Dude, she kept here. She was popping him all over the place.
Finn had already disabled him, and Finn's stormtrooper training can explain
Here.
that. No, Finn caught him in the arm.
Yeah, but she caught him here, and then upside of his face.
Yeah, but Finn caught him in the arm before their fight took
But
place.
he's a righty, not a lefty.
Well, it don't matter.
It does matter.
No, when you're fighting.
Lightsabers are based
Force-
off of the Japanese art
Yeah,
of the
but
katana.
Force
and you use
users-
one hand. You do not hold them with one
This-
hand. It's this,
Yes.
not this.
Force
So he's
users
trying to
also
do
can
this.
sustain injuries through the Force. So if they get hit with injuries, they use their Force power to
She's
kind of like.
already using
Okay, we can't.
Yes.
Off camera doesn't work.
Yeah, you're off camera.
They can hear me.
Next week.
They can
How,
hear me.
I have
have you
something
ever
to
heard
play.
how to manage? What,
I
James?
have something I want to play.
Well, put
Just for
yourself on
you- just
camera
for
so
you,
the
Josh.
viewers know that,
Play it
Just for
then.
you.
buddy.
Play it.
There we go. Bam! Bam!
Smoking.
He,
Smoking.
dude,
Hands are smoking still.
no, it's the
They
blaster
are
bolt
pouring
dissipating.
smoke.
It's the
They
black,
are
and he
pouring
blocks
smoke
two of
from
them.
hand.
And look, his hands still aren't
Play it
smoking.
back.
Play it back.
Yep, he blocks two of
One
them.
second.
His
I
hands
thought it was
are
just one.
smoking.
I forgot.
Slow it down. Turn the speed down. You can slow it down.
Yeah, slow it
It's a
down.
desktop capture.
You see the smoke clearly, but I mean that's the blaster bolt dissipating.
Oh, it's from YouTube. We can't slow it down.
Oh.
Oh,
We can't slow it down.
This
Next
guy-
week we will have that clip ripped
yeah,
and
we're
ready to
gonna have
go.
that clip.
His hand was smoking when he
No way,
switched.
no way.
It was still going. It was still sizzling down here.
This show
So
won't
was
always.
Yoda's hand when he
We're gonna be on
shot
Star Wars
back
for a
the-
while, but this show will not always be about.
When he brings his hand down, it will still be smoking.
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
gone.
see?
Smoking.
Boom. It's still
Smoking.
There's still smoke coming off his
No,
Let me- let
that's
me-
the blaster bolt dissipating. I
Let
already
me
said that.
let me throw this out. How many droids were killed by blaster shots? And they're the same exact type of robotics that they used for his hands.
I think he would-
How is he
he's-
blocking it? How
he's
is he
the-
blocking it?
He's the fist of the Emperor. I think he'd have better tech than some of these
betcha.
droids.
First of all, I would say, yeah, no, I think I would say.
Well, we're getting off
I don't
base
think
with
so.
the whole what we think because we don't know crap
We
because
don't know
J.J.
anything.
Abrams hasn't written it yet
That's
or
right.
whoever's writing the
Get
next
George
movie.
Lucas on the phone.
Call George. We need to
But
talk
anyway, he blocked two blaster bolts and snatched the blaster.
With the other hand, though. So the other
It does
hand,
no. He blocked it with each
Play
hand.
it again. I think he blocked with both
He
hands.
blocked with both hands.
He blocked one with this one and one with this
Yeah,
one.
and then he
pulled
snatched
the
the
blaster.
bolt.
James, can
when
you
he
play
brought
that
this
again?
hand back up, it's not smoking.
Why?
I got rid of it.
There, he took it off.
Yeah, yeah.
It was YouTube.
So
We'll,
anyway,
we'll have it later.
We'll have
but
it. We will have it next week.
Kylo is pretty powerful, but he is a horrible swordsman, and that's for
Here's
sure.
what we're gonna do.
Finn should have been dead right away.
Because
Yeah.
we're like already 6 minutes over.
Over what?
So it's 7:30. So we've already an hour and 6 minutes.
Well, can't we just like give them half and then I can just keep talking? I can do this all night, literally.
Yeah, we're not going to do this all night. What we're going to do is we're going to come back tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
And we're going to have these clips ready.
And we're going to talk about
And we're gonna talk
basically
about this.
Vader versus Kylo Ren.
We're going to
and
do
who's
a
more powerful.
whole week
Of Star Wars.
Yes.
This
We won't
is
do
our
this all
first
the
week,
time.
too. Yeah. It's
Right.
also our this is our maiden voyage. into it.
Inaugural show
Also,
right
just so we talked about this, fans, if you guys are watching and you have any beef with anything we say, hit us up on the message boards at webeamtv.com and we will actually argue with you live on air. If you want to argue with us on YouTube, because we will repurpose this for YouTube and a podcast, because I don't shut up.
Go to
So there's
WeBeam
no dead air.
TV's. Go to WeBeam TV. Facebook.com/WeBeam TV.
Max Play Live.
Max Play Live. That's even better.
Yes, and leave your comments there, and we will definitely do our best to at least pick
But
five
don't
of them
be
to address.
you don't need to use rude language. Just put it on there.
You could say some things, right? No.
Don't be
But-
overly rude.
Yeah, don't be overly rude.
Yeah.
We invite argument.
We
but
love
want
the response, the
the-
rebuttal.
we're all about the debate, and that's what Nerd Talk is basically all about. I don't know if you guys saw the intro that we did, but we were in a superhero battle before Boss Tech here stepped on us, and we still haven't gotten it back yet. We'll shoot that one later.
That should be old tech.
Yes, and James wants you to know that he's not Utter Tech. He's Sausage Link. If you saw his shirt, it was Link, but he looks like a mangled sausage wearing a Link shirt. So his new nickname is Sausage Link.
You know they can hear him, right?
Huh?
They can hear him.
Yeah, I know they can hear
Okay.
James.
All right, sure.
Yeah, I've been getting texts all night. Like, shut that furry guy up.
Which one?
What's Chewbacca
The one-
doing in the control
The one
room?
with no hair on his head?
I'm sorry?
The one with no hair on his head?
I can't hear you. You're cutting out.
That's because you can't
say-
hide
What?
it
I
behind your
can't say
hair.
what I was thinking.
You what? What?
I'm not allowed to say what I'm thinking.
What? You sound like an old man in there. What?
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Anyway,
All right, guys.
so that's been our first episode.
Thanks for watching. Check us out on webeamtv.com, Max Play Live on Facebook, Max Play on YouTube. And if you don't know how to get a hold of us, one of us you probably know through Facebook. So you can hit me up personally. You can hit up Taylor, especially. PM the hell out of him because he loves that stuff. Don't mess with John because he's famous and knows famous people, and that's just not good for him.
I'm
And,
infamous.
He's infamous, actually. Yes.
Yeah, in my own mind.
If you've ever walked behind this guy in the mall after burritos, he's definitely infamous. He's horrible.
Clear room.
Yeah, but anyway, we really want you guys to be involved in the show. Thank you for watching. We're signing off now. I'm Ortec the Batman. This
New
is
Tech.
Darth Taylor. New
Boss Tech.
That's No He Not Kenobi.
And I'm James.
And that's what happens when a Wookiee mates
And that's
with
utter.
an Ewok.
That's utter tech.
Yeah.
He's the utter tech.
See, he sounds like a Wookiee right now. He's definitely the byproduct of a Wookiee and an Ewok.
Oh.
That's
Hey, I got the
All
best
right,
of both worlds.
let's give him some air. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
have a good night. Take it easy.
Yeah.